guys, it's Kara here, and I'm back with another great recipe for you. Today what I'm going to make is a blueberry muffin, but I've got my own version of it. We're going to make it a little bit higher in protein using the MTS Whey, and I'm also going to add in some fresh blueberries and a touch of lemon zest to give it a nice fresh, delicious flavor. So to make these muffins, what you're first going to want to do is preheat your oven to 350 degrees. And this recipe is going to make 12 large muffins, or if you want to do mini muffins, you could as well. What we're first going to do is go ahead and mix all our dry ingredients first. So like I said, I'm going to use my favorite MTS Whey in vanilla. If you guys don't have this on tap, I recommend you go to Tiger Fitness and get this. You can see I'm almost running out of it in there because this is my most frequently used protein. I love it for baking. And I also love it for protein shakes as well. But we're going to add 3 scoops of this, or about 3 30-gram scoops, depending on what you're using. So 3 full scoops of that. Now for flour for the muffin, I'm going to use, I got it in my bag still because it gets a little messy. We're going to use whole wheat flour today, but feel free to use whatever type of flour you want. I don't adhere to gluten-free, but for those that do, people typically use an oat flour. If you don't have oat flour at home, you could take oats and grind them up. Either way, it's going to be the same portion size. We're going to add, see what I mean? It gets a little messy. We're going to add 1.5 cups, and I'm just using a butter knife to help kind of level the scoop. You really don't want to do a heaping scoop on your flour. You want to keep it pretty much standard to the 1.5 cups. So I like using a butter knife. I heap it up, and then I use the butter knife to kind of just, it's fun, but it gets a little messy. So there's 1.5 cups of the whole wheat flour. Move this bad boy out of the way. For sweetener, I'm going to use my favorite Splenda. This measures just the same as any other sweetener you might use, so I'm going to use 1/2 cup of the Splenda. Whatever other sweetener you're going to use, it's going to be the same portion size. Okay, so 1/2 cup of that. Next I'm going to add, we're going to use for this recipe, baking soda, and we're also going to use baking powder. One tip I have for you guys that I frequently mess up on is these do stay fresh for quite a long time, but be sure to check the dates on these if you have them up in your cupboard, because if they do go past the use by date, these are leavening agents. So if they're expired, they're not going to help the muffins rise like they need to. So just double check the date on those. For baking soda, we're going to use 1 teaspoon. 1 teaspoon of our baking soda. And again, make sure you level that out. Okay. And 1/2 teaspoon of our baking powder. Also going to add just a pinch of sea salt. Optional, but any type of salt to throw into your baked goods will help the flavor of the recipe. Okay, next we are going to add our wet ingredients. What I've got whipped up in here are 3 egg whites. I usually like to crack those into a separate bowl, that way you don't risk getting any shells into your mixture. So I'm going to go ahead and throw those in there. Next, because we're not really adding much fat into the recipe, we're going to add some unsweetened applesauce. And what I have here are 2 little snack packs, if you will, of unsweetened applesauce, or about 8 ounces you'll want to add into this recipe. I'm just going to go ahead and throw those in there. Alright, so now that we've got all that in there, I'm going to go ahead and mix this all together and get this all stirred in. Okay, so you just want to make sure you have your muffin batter mixed in real good. It may not seem like a lot of liquid we've added to it, but just keep stirring. And once you get it all mixed together, make sure you stop stirring. If you over mix a muffin batter, it's going to be very flat and tough once you bake it, so try not to over mix it. All right, now our trick here, adding a little bit of lemon zest, or if you don't have a lemon at home, you could do an orange zest. Either orange or a lemon really complements the flavors of blueberries. So if you have that, I suggest adding it because it's really gonna give it that fresh flavor. If you don't, you can omit it. But I went ahead and zested a little bit of the peel of a lemon. It's probably about a teaspoon here, so I'm just gonna go ahead, add that into the batter, I should say, and mix that up just lightly. And what I've got measured out over here is 3/4 a cup of fresh blueberries. If you don't have fresh blueberries, like for me, I live in New York. Right now, blueberries are not in season. They kind of suck and they're really expensive. You could definitely use frozen blueberries and it'll turn out just as good. Optional, what you can do is fold the blueberries into the batter right now. Or what I'm gonna do is add the batter to my 12 muffin tins, and then I'm just gonna gently set the blueberries on top of my muffins. So optional, up to you what you'd like to do. I'm gonna go ahead and measure out. They look, oh shoot. Uh-oh. Fallen. My muffin tins they're supposed to be lightly greased. Apparently I went a little cray-cray here on the cooking spray, but I just used a Pam spray and squirted those little guys. So you're just gonna wanna fill each of your 12 like 3/4 full. And this is like looking like a nightmare here. I need 2 hands for this, guys. The batter is very thick, that's why it's doing that. So you may wanna just get your fingers in there a little bit. Okay, so once you've got your 12 muffins all filled up, what I'm gonna do is just take the fresh blueberries and just take like 6 or 8 or whatever you want and kind of set them on top. I'm not gonna really smush them down in there because the volume of it, I think, will sink the muffin. But I'm gonna backtrack a minute because I know I talked about zesting a lemon and some of you guys may not know what that means or how to do that. So what you do is, I actually do have a lemon zester. It's kind of a multi-purpose deal. You can like grate cheese and all that good jazz, but this side with the little teeny holes is the zester side. Mine, it actually comes with this little handy Tupperware that you stick underneath. And what you do to zest a lemon is, you take the lemon, I've already zested it, so you can see that what's left is mainly just the white on here. You don't want to zest into the white part of the lemon. That's going to taste very bitter. You're looking to just really zest the lemon shiny part on top. And you basically just grind it down and kind of turn while you're doing it. And it zests for you. But if you don't have one of these handy doohickeys like I do at home, if you have just like a carrot peeler or something like that, you could just lightly grate the top of it. Those are the only ideas I have, otherwise YouTube it. It's not that complicated. You're just looking to get the nice yellow, fresh zest off the top of the lemon. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish putting the blueberries on all my muffins and pop these guys in the oven at 350 degrees, like I mentioned, for about 20 minutes. And I will see you when they're all done. All right, guys, so I took my muffins out of the oven at about 16, 17 minutes, so you'll just want to check on them. These came out wild. I freaking love them. They look phenomenal. They rose beautifully. They're nice and big. I know you can't tell like the weight of them, but they're a very dense muffin. The blueberries on top just make it look fun, but again, up to you guys. Could always fold in the blueberries if you want. So yeah, this is a very quick and easy recipe. I'm probably gonna pack these up and take them to work with me this week for a guilt-free breakfast to eat some muffins. I think you guys will like this recipe, so give it a try. And don't forget, with Tiger Fitness and the MTS Militia, you guys are more than just a number. So please tag myself, tag Alyssa, tag Marc, Tiger Fitness, all that good stuff if you're on Instagram, and show us what recipes you're making, what supplements you're buying, and all that good stuff. Please comment below if there's other recipes that you guys have not seen from me yet and you're dying to see what you want. So please let me know. I'm here to make what you guys like. Please subscribe to my channel if you don't already and keep checking back.